Hi, everyone. Today we're going to review what some of the updates have been during this week. So at the top of the week, we had OpenAI do a short conference. It was about actually 30 minutes where they gave us their spring updates, some really great, exciting things that have come up. Later in the week also, midweek actually, Google also released some really important updates to do with AI. That was all close to almost 2 hours. So I won't address that in this presentation. This is only going to be for OpenAI, but the other ones will be coming up, and we'll see some of what their updates are in terms of just the high levels. The reason is because there was so much from Google. Of course, it's a bigger company. However, OpenAI is also really releasing some very pretty exciting updates. Okay, so this is what the update is. They called it a spring update. It's spring, so let's go. Okay, so first things first, what we see here is really what that entails, a symbol. So right here on the left-hand side, we have what those are usually the symbol for their GPT store. That's where you find different GPTs. This encompasses or shows what that means, the future, the mission, and things like that. This is a globe. It entails like browsing the internet. So we'll see what that is about. And then also here, it has what looks like a brain or something like that, like a cloud. I think that entails what their memory is. Last but not least, we have what entails what now this model does, and that would have to do with analytics and graphs and charts, things like that. Okay, so the agenda today, by the way, these are screenshots from their presentation. So it's exactly from their presentation. I didn't create anything new, but I give some context to it. Okay, so that is what really the purpose of this is. So the agenda is that we're going to talk about what their mission is and how they tie it into the presentation, a desktop app and web UI update, a GPT 4.0, GPT 4.0 free access, GPT live research demo. Okay. The last part, I may not really do anything in this presentation. However, I will definitely add these to anyone that eventually will be listening to this. Some links and places to go and look at what their demos are. Okay, so their mission. So they talked about their mission being that they really came to start this company, OpenAI, open, to make it open or give access to AI for mankind, humanity, and also that AI can benefit humanity. So that's where they're really coming from. So therefore, the big talk here was where they're providing more features for free users. So as you know, first of all, OpenAI is the company that brought to us ChatGPT. ChatGPT currently has, at the very basic level, 2 levels. It has the free version, which is the 3.0 Turbo, that we all have access to. Then it has the paid level, which is approximately $20. And within the paid level, there are 3 different levels. So you find that they have paid where you can be an individual, then paid where you can be a team, 1 or more people, and their payment is per person. And then also they have enterprise. Enterprise usually means the bigger companies. And the difference is that, especially for enterprise and teams, that those two, the AI tends to only kind of work on their data. So their data is secured, meaning that it doesn't train the rest of the data, unlike if you're an individual. However, for an individual, you can also decide to shut that off if you don't want them to train on whatever it is that you may use AI for. By training, I mean they make it learn new ways or new things that you as an individual are working on, want to know, and that kind of thing. So again, they do it for humankind, but if you don't want, there's a setting for that. However, if you go to my prior video, I really show where that setting is, because that won't be demoed in this presentation. So that is what I mean here. You have the free users and the paid users. So the paid users are those 3 levels I talked about. Free users is only the 3.5. Okay. So their mission is to ensure that artificial intelligence benefits all humanity. That is where the pillar of this spring presentation was from. Okay. So what do we have here? So one of the things that has been talked about or spoken about, or that they introduced to us, was that OpenAI dropped another model. Oh, first of all, let me back up a little bit. So what they did is that they have introduced also a desktop app is here where we can download it and use it. Before, we had to go online on the, on either our phones to use some of the capabilities I'm going to talk about, or of course we could use it on the desktop. But it wasn't presented as an app. Okay, so that's what this is about. And they wanted to use to introduce this desktop so that we can use it wherever we are, especially if you know anyone who especially works in maybe bigger companies, whereby you can access your computer desktop, as we call it, anywhere that you can be. It can find you anywhere, it doesn't matter. This is where it's called something like floating desktop. These are enabled usually in bigger companies, okay? So they want to enable that ability so that people can do that. So what does this entail? This entails that it will be easy to use, it will be integrative, and that you can type in text. So literally here, they were showing us that this is someone on the back screen here, someone who was working on some coding, programmer probably. And then here they show us in front of that how this could appear for someone's desktop app. Okay, this is how it looks. It's very simple, straightforward, and clean looking. Okay, and I'll talk about where this has been released. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, and again, I wanted to emphasize what it is. So what they introduced on the desktop was that we'll have the ability to also talk to the desktop app as we had it on the mobile phones, because this was available on the mobile phones, but not on the desktop. So on the bottom right-hand side, you're going to find that there's an icon for an headphone and also the microphone. Yeah, that's what that entails. Okay, we can be able to access that. Same thing, easy to use, it will be integrative, and you can speak to it. Integrative meaning that it entails text, voice, and images. That's what that means. Okay, so here, if you've used maybe your cell phone before, you find that here it shows this little symbol here, usually comes up if someone is talking to the AI app. And so that's what this means, that you can now speak to it on your desktop and be able to get whatever results that you're looking for. Next, you'll find that they've also redesigned the desk screen, the home screen. This is the home screen they gave as a demo, but also if you've seen recently, that changed. So you can see it's more design friendly. It's more cleaner, it's simpler, and more conversation, actually, meaning that the ability to have us speaking to it, the AI on the desktop, it will be more conversational for us. And also that it speaks to us almost like a human to human, versus like maybe more mechanical, because before it had some kind of delays, which is called latency. And I'll talk about that later. Okay. All right. So the other update was that they dropped a new model, which is called GPT 4.0. And the O here stands for Omni model. So what does Omni mean? Omni refers to a model that encompasses all the other forms of delivery via text, via voice, via images, okay? You find that this model has an ease of use. It also interacts with users much easier, and that it's been made to interact with us a bit more naturally, like you're talking to a friend or you're talking to someone, you can interrupt it and it will stop. Sometimes before, actually, when you interrupted it, I know that for sure, it didn't stop, it kept going. So now it can stop. It's like you're having a conversation with someone, you know. Okay. Additionally, here, looking to the future, they made it more natural. So natural meaning that talking between humans and machines. It's very much conversation, like I said, and you'll find that it will talk to you really like another human. Okay, so that's what that is. Also, this natural conversation or natural way that talks to us is far much easier than before. Okay, and also GPT 4.0 reasons across the three media type, the voice, the text, and also vision. Okay. The other part of this is that, again, we talked about mission, the fact that they want to make this available to humanity and humanity's benefit. You find that currently they indicated, they being OpenAI, that they have over 100 million people that are using ChatGPT. The goal is to avail this to all. When I say this, they are referring to the more higher level intelligent models, in this case, GPT-4, okay? Because GPT-4 is the one where it's paid for. Those are the paid accounts, okay, or paid users. So this GPT 4.0, okay, sorry, 4.0 actually is used, sorry, has a higher intelligence than the GPT-4. So you find that it's something that they're making available. Before, the 4 was only available to the paid members, but there's a level of free access to this GPT 4.0, which is the Omni. Okay, having a hard time there. Anyway, so it's something they've been trying to bring to all users. So I think probably doing the 4 GPT level 4, is where they're going with this. They want it to be available to all users. So what does that mean? That means, let me just go back a minute. That means that they're making available this higher level of GPT-4, or they're making it available to all users, to free users, to paid users, and just about, anyone that at least can access AI. For GPT, for OpenAI, okay? Can access OpenAI, OpenAI's GPT for apps. And I'll talk about what some of the conditions are. There are a few conditions depending on which account someone has. So we'll talk about those later. They're coming up. Okay, so the other things that they made available to the free plan. So now what I'm talking about actually is what is been available to all the users here. The 4.0, sorry, the 3.5 people who have an account that was free didn't have GPT-4. It's now available to them. The other thing that also has been made available to the free users which is 3.5, but the 3.5 is also good. It was good in other cases, even better than 4.0, 4 turbo, excuse me. So you find that they now have access to the GPT store. So what is the GPT store? The GPT store, if you didn't know it, is an online marketplace that has a wide range of applications, tools that are powered by the generative pre-trained transformer. That's what GPT means, technology, okay? So just like you could go, let's see, if you have any platform, let's say, there are many platforms out there that integrate with so many different platforms. Let me give an example. Let's say like Calendly, maybe, or any other tool, Google being one of them. Google is a good example. Google has so many other, they call them though, tend to call them extensions or plugins. It's the same thing, that people have developed these other additional applications that someone can add on to the platform they're using to make things either better or to enhance the usage and also add better usage. And that is what has been made available here for the free users that we're using 3.5 right now. Okay, so that's what that is. Okay, so this is an example of how the GPTs look. I wanted to give you an example of that screen. GPTs were created by, there are many GPTs out there. There are really so many. And if you can see here on this screen, you see that there are different ones. This is a home screen, or if you were to click on GPTs. By the way, I don't think that they've made it available. So I'm recording this on Friday. This was done on Monday. There's a reason at times I delay a little bit. Times I want to see what we can use the new features for, and I'll talk about that a bit later. For work and also project management, how we can apply these new features. So anyway, this is how it would look, part of what it looks for GPT's home screen. And the different ones. Here, you see the menu here on top is how they categorize them, okay? And what that means here, what's highlighted, topics is usually what they decide what people are using the most, and so those will show up, okay? Or sometimes it's what OpenAI themselves decide that, is topics that usually it comes also from what people are using, but they may change it out daily. This is a bit faint, but the next one shows writing, productivity, research and analysis, programming, education, and lifestyle, okay? Those are the different categories they gave us. However, these are examples of what ChatGPT themselves made. As you can see, they're made by ChatGPT. But if you look at these, they're made by different people, different companies, small companies or things like that. So the ones made by ChatGPT, example, data analyst, hot modes, coloring book, plenty, writing creative coach, professional writing coach, web browser. This one now is them that they made it. GPT Classic, that's 0.3 version. That's what that is. Again, they add this for a reason, because sometimes, especially for people that are developers before, that would make developing, a bit when I say cheaper, not cheap, but rather more affordable, because the people who develop any app, they have to buy certain tokens, as they're called. And then, of course, if they have an app that people are using, they may charge money because they're using up those tokens and they're going to be charged for them. So you find that if someone develops maybe a GPT, they may also charge a little bit of money, more affordable. So they try to make that more affordable from the back end, so that you or anyone who is a developer, if you had to resell it, it's not very expensive for your clients, okay? But this is how it looks. Okay, next. Also, what happened is this new version, or this new model, GPT 4.0, improves the capabilities for vision. So what does that mean? It means that you can upload any image and then also chat about that. For example, you can upload the image and ask it, hey, what does this image represent? What can I use it for? But a good example that this could be would be something where maybe you're using your phone, okay? Let's say you went on vacation, you're in another country that has another language than English. You can take a screenshot maybe of a menu. Let's say you wanted to go to a restaurant, but you may not understand everything that the menu has. And then you ask ChatGPT that, okay, this is what I have as a menu. What can I learn about it? What is this? What does this mean? And things like that for it to translate it for you in English. So that's what that means. And that is very, very cool. So you get the information about images taken up or uploaded, okay? Next, it browses the internet. So browsing the internet, the web, it will give us information from across the web. Unlike before you had to use, I think I showed you, let me go back a little bit. Here, the web browser, if you wanted, you had to use a web browser that ChatGPT made. And it's the one that you click on and then you ask questions if you want across the internet, because they didn't have that. There's one interview I saw, the Mira Marathi, she's the CTO of OpenAI. She was talking about that it's something that they didn't anticipate that it would come to where people are using it really for search. So that's how they decided, I think, to also use it. They've been really upfront because they said when this company was created, they thought they would create these things for people, but they themselves as a company have learned from the ways people are using the web. And I think it's given them, like even any one of us, if you had a service, if you had maybe a SaaS product, let's say, a product maybe you developed and people are using it monthly, if they're using it in a different way from what you expected or some different ways, you're going to give value by making that accessible to your customers. So that's exactly what they're doing. Okay. All right. The next one here is memory. This one was one of the last one. Also, please go back to my channel, Rachel M. Kaiser, and look for where the video, I think it's 2 videos before this, okay? You're going to find that I talk about this update. It was earlier this month also. It's called memory. And by that, what that means is that it can remember the chat content across all the chats. Before, if you wanted, ChatGPT to remember what you were talking about, you either had to go and find a chat that you specifically asked it or interacted with it to give you responses or answers about a particular topic. You'd have to go back to that particular chat. But right now, it's been made to remember so that you can ask something new in a different chat and it will remember it, okay? So that's a cool thing. All right. And then the other thing that they added was advanced data analytics. You find that right now, you can feed data that you may have and you want to get maybe more information about it. It can help you do analytics, analyze that data. It can also create charts for you. So what is advanced data analysis? That's the ability to analyze data in a chart or via uploaded files of data that you may provide ChatGPT. Also, automatically, what happens if you upload any file that has data, it's going to create kind of a table view of that data for you. And then afterwards, it will be able to, it actually automatically creates a chart. However, if you don't want that, you can also ask it to create specific charts for you, but usually it creates some different charts. Charts, and I'll talk about those, okay? So the other thing, it can create a chart that is interactive. By this meaning that you know how when you have a chart and you click on it, that it will show you the data behind it. For example, if you click on the higher part, let's say you have a line chart, okay, a line, sorry, graph. And there are points along that graph that you may click on, and you see a number there. It shows you the date and number. That's what it means, that it will make it more interactive, that actually you can click on it and get more information about it. Okay, so additionally, you can customize the graphics of your interactive charts however you want, meaning that if you want a pie chart, you can tell it, I want a pie chart. If you want a line chart, you can tell it, I want a line chart. If you want any other type of chart, it can do that for you, okay? There's also a bar chart, and all the other types of charts can do that for you. Additionally, because of that, now they've made 4.0 across available to many people. It's in 50 languages currently. These are mostly languages that are widely spoken, you know. So I won't go into the details of it, but you know that, of course, one of them is English, French, let's say Italian, Spanish, the usual Portuguese, you know, which tend to be mostly, I think, also on the European side, but those are the major ones. I haven't looked to see what all the 50 ones are, the list, but they've made those available at least in 50 different languages for now. So because of their mission, their experience, they want to bring this to as many people as possible. That's what they did. They also improved the quality and speed of ChatGPT. It's now much faster, and you'll see that. It's also accessible to free users, okay? By this meaning that the intelligence for GPT-4, which is now presented as GPT-4o, new features have been made available to free users. And also the Plus users will also have access to that, where it's 5 times more than the capacity for the free users. And then, of course, there are different tiers within the Plus users. Each one will be more than the other. That's how this will be. Okay. All right. Additionally, this is kind of the summary of it. GPT-4 is accessible to the free users who use 3.5. They will now have the option to do that. They say they'll be rolling it out. I think they're fast rolling out for Plus users because it wasn't yet available to the 3.5 users. But that will be that. So in summary, they have access to all these items. Your GPT store. They're going to also have access to where the desktop app, and the desktop app being able to have sound or voice, which in this case can really work with the vision with text, voice working with text, vision, and image, okay? And then also browsing the internet, the ability to do that across from within 4.0, rather than, you know, using the GPT. Access to the memory where it remembers across all the charts. So it can give you some of the information you may have asked in a different chart. And then advanced analytics, okay? So that's great. Additionally, for developers, they've made this much better. They'll have access to 4.0, and it will be 2 times faster than 4.4 GPT-4. It will be 50% cheaper. Again, if you see these are getting at least less expensive as they continue to make things better, you know, which is typical of a startup. It's iterative, so they're making things better. Also, the 5 times higher rate limits, I talked about that compared to the GPT-4 Turbo, okay? All right. Now, what I wanted to do is go a little bit deeper at a high level. Sorry, those are the things. So I'm gonna go into part 2. This will be part 2 of my video, where I'm going to now really talk about a little bit deeper what each of those mean, okay? All right.